I will start off by saying very nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
And good to see you again, my man.
See you too.
We saw each other at Hail Caesar.
Yeah.
And here we are in Texas. I want to let everybody know we're talking in Dallas, Texas. What do you guys think about our state?
I've never spent any time here, really. And I've only been here since I've been here. I've only been in the hotel. So I look forward to, I would like to.
He's like, the hotel's great.
Hotel's great, yeah.
How did...
She knows. She likes it.
I've been here I've been to Dallas once a couple of years ago, and I had a great time. It wasn't here for long enough, but I have a lot of friends that are from here, and I love them, so.
You both are in a movie with a Hollywood legend, Mr. Warren Beatty, and he wrote this, he produced it, directed. I don't know where he got the time to do all that. I mean, that's a project for anybody.
Yeah.
But, you know, a legend like him, he's got a lot going on. What was it like the very first time that you met with Mr. Beatty?
I first met him on the telephone. My agent called me and said, Warren Beatty wants you to call him, here's his number. And I like burst out laughing. I was like, this is ridiculous. But I called him and he picked up, and right away it was as if I'd known him for years. We just started talking, and he's so disarming right away. And I met him in person the next day for about 20 minutes, which is very lucky because normally your first meeting is minimum of 4 hours. But we really had only limited amount of time, and I thought, well, my chances aren't that great then. But then we progressed to meeting after meeting after meeting. So it was pretty crazy. It was very surreal, and I was just kind of saying, well, if this is it, this is fine. I've got a great story. I will forever be able to say that I met him and learned a lot from our first meeting.
Tell me about your story.
I met him after my first film. He called my manager, and I had a meeting with him at a restaurant, and we met for 5 hours. And for me, it was this opportunity because I grew up watching all these old films, and it was like I could ask him a question about anything I wanted to know about, and he loves to tell stories, and he's very generous with all his insights. So that began a 5-year, I guess, audition process where I spent time with him and just learned how to hold film school.
So that's true. I did read it. It took 5 years to when you first met him so that's true.
Yes.
And I also understand there was a dessert with Bill Clinton involved.
Yeah, among other people. Yeah.
Was he part of the audition process? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think that was any part of it. Yeah, me and Warren had dessert with him in New York, and that was pretty wild, yeah.
Tell me about his directing style, though. What is it like to actually work with him in a professional setting?
Well, you always say, he's incredibly hands-on. He knows everything about every part of the movie, whether it's, hair, makeup, wardrobe, production design, what's in front of the camera, what's behind the camera. And he knows exactly what he wants and how to get it. And I think he created situations for us as Lily and Alden that very directly mirrored Marla and Frank, just in how we went about creating the characters and on set. And he created an environment that was very much true to the environment for our characters. So he's very smart, that Warren. Like, he gets it.
What is it like, though, to see him on set? Like, the very first day that you guys saw him on set, did you kind of go, okay, wow, this is happening?
Yeah, I think definitely, because it'd been such a build-up for so long that to actually be there, it was like, oh yeah, now we're making the movie. And I think him, when he's acting in the scene and when he's not acting in the scene, is somewhat different. When he's acting in the scene, it's a little more, like a little looser maybe. He also directs scenes in character, so if he's in a scene with you, he'll say, and he wants you to do it louder, he'll say, I didn't really hear you, why don't you speak up a little bit? And that keeps a kind of flow going that's very helpful.
There's a title song called Rules Don't Apply. You sing it in this movie, and I was like, I didn't know, you just blew me away. Good job.
Thank you.
What was that what did that feel like?
It was really fun, extremely nerve-wracking. We did it live, so I had like a little thing in my ear to like help me with the timing of it all because I wasn't listening to a thumb track or something. So it was terrifying. But again, Marla is a songwriter, not a singer, so I got to use my nerves. And if, my voice cracked as Lily, it was fine because Marla's would. But the lyrics are so beautiful. They really relate to, I think, anyone of any generation, no matter what you're going through. And I sing it sober and I sing it drunk. So it applies to really any situation.
Now people are going, I really need to see this thing.
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
really, what's going on right there?
What?
It's a wink to old Hollywood. This movie really is. I mean, yeah, Howard Hughes elements are in there, but there's so many other things that are going on. I'm curious what kind of research you both did for your roles to get ready for this.
Well, I think a lot of it came out of, I mean, I did some, but it was a lot of it came out of spending time with Warren and the world that he was creating, and kind of the rules of that world were the thing that was the most important to understand. And then Warren was there. I mean, this movie takes place the year he came to Hollywood. So his stories and insight and his feeling for that world, and I think through a certain lens of maybe nostalgia, was, I think, informed the whole tone of everything.
Your thoughts on that? Just
Yeah.
the research for your role.
Yeah, I mean, very much the same. I wanted Warren to just give us everything that he could, and my character is not based on one person in particular. It's kind of a collection of young women who we may never know their names, or we won't because they didn't make it. And so I read chapters about them in Howard Hughes books.
All right, I want to ask about a book that you have coming out in a couple of months called Unfiltered. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, it's a collection of essays and letters about what it is to become a young woman in today's day and age, and talking about all the taboo things that girls don't like to talk about, but we all go through.
I can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
All right, and for you, I've got 2 words, and I'm just going to watch your facial expressions, okay? You know what's coming. Han Solo. Awesome.